In this session, we will be discussing, am I allowed to pray whilst holding a baby? Can you daven whilst you're holding a baby in your arms, or maybe in some sort of baby carrier, such as a sling, or a baby born, or a wrap? So in order to answer this halacha, we've got to clarify 4 different halachas. Are you allowed to hold something whilst you're davening? Are all parts of prayer, tefillah, the same, since we know that Shemona Esrei and Krishma require additional concentration? Thirdly, what's the halacha if you actually did hold a baby? Does that invalidate the tefillah, or the tefillah is still valid and you don't have to pray? And finally, the 4th question is, do you have to be concerned that the baby has a dirty diaper, since there's a problem to pray in the presence of excrement or a foul odor? Let's start with the first one. Am I allowed to daven whilst holding something? The Shulchan Aruch in Siman Tzadivov 96 says you should not hold something in your hands whilst you're davening. And the Shulchan Aruch gives 3 examples. Do not hold a knife, a full bowl, or loose coin, loose change. Mishnah Berurah explains these 3 a person can distracts a person's concentration. He is worried they will fall. Therefore, he brings on the Birchei Yosef, you shouldn't hold a child in your hand either, because you're worried the child will fall. However, Mishnah Berurah deduces from the Lashon, mois mufazoris, loose coinage, if the money was wrapped up, so you're not worried that it will scatter, there's no problem. Based upon that, we could assume if the baby's wrapped to the body in a baby carrier, there shouldn't be a problem to hold the baby, because you won't be distracted, you won't be worried the baby will fall. This obviously is if the baby is sleeping or quiet. If the baby is crying, you will be distracted. However, the Mishnah Berurah brings from the Taz a stringent opinion who disagrees that you shouldn't hold anything in your hands. Mishnah Berurah points out additionally, this halacha doesn't only apply in Shemona Esrei, it applies in Pesukei Zimra and Krishma too. So, according to what we've learned till now, you should not hold a baby in your hands whilst you're davening. If the baby is strapped to you and it's quiet, there are some lenient opinions that the Taz was stringent. However, there are other reasons to be lenient to hold a baby in certain circumstances. And this is based upon the halacha in Siman Kuf Daled 104, where the Shulchan Aruch discusses concentration in tefillah. He says if a person is in Shemona Esrei and he sees a siddur on the floor, the halacha is he may pick up the siddur if it's disturbing him a lot and he can't concentrate. When he finishes the bracha, he may pick up the tefillah. In fact, he may even walk to the place where the sefer dropped to pick it up if he cannot concentrate. Based upon that, Reb Shlomo Zalman paskins, this brought down in Tefillah Kalacha, that if you have a baby crying in shul and he's disturbing the crowd, you may walk in Milosh Shemona Esrei and carry out the baby. Similarly, if the baby needs to be calmed down, so you may pick up the baby and calm down the baby if it's disturbing your concentration in Shemona Esrei. And based upon that, he says, the same halacha is if the phone's ringing non-stop or the door is knocking non-stop and you're in Shemona Esrei and it's disturbing you, so then you may walk and answer the phone or open the door, however you cannot speak. So, to summarize so far, you should not hold a baby in your hands by davening unless it's wrapped and the baby is quiet. Then there's some opinions are lenient. However, if the baby is crying and you have to pray, you're not obligated to miss your tefillah, to miss your prayer because the baby is crying, and you can hold the baby. You may even walk in Milosh Shemona Esrei to calm down the crying baby. What happens if someone carried the baby when he wasn't allowed to? Is the prayer valid? The halacha is the prayer is valid. Now in regard to the final point, do you have to be concerned about the dirty diaper? Because there's halacha, you cannot pray in the presence of excrement, unless you walk 4 arms away. So, firstly, if the baby is still breastfed, he's not eating solids, the halacha is such bowel movement does not play any concern because it hasn't got a foul odor. However, if there's an older baby and there's a foul odor, so theoretically it should be fine, because the halacha is the requirement for to pray in front of excrement is that it's covered. Theoretically, the diaper covers any bowel movement, so it should be fine. However, the poskim say there's 2 points still for concern. Number 1, the bad smell. The halacha in Shulchan Aruch and Siman Ayin Vav, Sif Beis says you cannot daven when there's a bad smell. So if the baby actually has a dirty diaper, you should not daven. Do you have to be concerned the baby has a dirty diaper? In Isha Yisrael, it brings from Shlomo Zalman that you don't have to be concerned, unless obviously the baby has a dirty diaper or enough time has passed that you should be concerned that another bowel movement took place. The second potential problem is graf shel rei. Not only is it forbidden to pray in front of excrement, additionally it's forbidden to pray in front of a container or utensil normally used to place excrement in. That has the same halacha as tsoya, as excrement, that you should not daven within 4 amos of such a kli. A diaper theoretically is made to contain the bowel movements, and therefore you should not be able to pray in front of a diaper. The poskim give two theoretical reasons why a diaper should be fine. Firstly, Rav Moshe Feinstein holds that a diaper is considered Grav Sharei. He was talking about the cloth diapers, and he says that if it's clean, there's no problem of Grav Sharei, but it implies that if the baby is soiled, then that wouldn't be considered covering to on excrement, and one would not be able to pray because the diaper is considered Grav Sharei. However, by our disposable diapers, you could argue that it hasn't got this special halacha of Grav Sharei because they're meant to be thrown away. And furthermore, other poskim say possibly the cover of the absorbent material on the diaper is considered a cover on the diaper. Rav Shlomo Zalman disregards that argument because he says that absorbent material is part of the diaper. However, if the baby's covered with their clothes, that's considered covering on the diaper. So to summarize, you should not daven whilst holding a baby, unless the baby is crying, obviously, or the baby is strapped to yourself. In regard to a dirty diaper, you should not daven unless there's no smell and the baby is covered with clothes too.